Hey everyone. I don't know if you've been seeing the pictures I've been posting of progress I've been making on this project, this vintage truck and this big giant tag project I've been working on. And I'm about to finish it up, so I thought I would share with you the rest of the steps. So far, let me put you down here where you can see what's going on. So far, what I have done is one moment, be right back. Okay, so far I have taken this truck that I picked up at Hobby Lobby last year after St. Patrick's Day, when they had their major discounts that they normally do after the holiday, and I repainted it. So this is what it looks like. And then I have these packages of little shamrocks that I picked up at Hobby Lobby last year. And I took a few out of one of the packages and I painted them. So they're ready to go. Got the stem off of this one so it'll match the one that's already on the truck. So those are ready to go. I'm gonna put a little bit of patterns on them. And I took this big giant tag that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, I don't know when, last summer. And I covered it. Dump all this off. I covered the front of it with this craft paper that I picked up at Dollar Tree, a big old roll of craft paper. And I did some Mod Podge over it and sanded off the edges so that it just kind of blends in with the board. And then the back side that looks like this, I painted with one coat of white Waverly paint, Waverly white chalk paint. This stuff. And then I took a pencil and drew lines to make it look like, pieces of wood stuck together. And then I used my chip paint brush and this Java home decor chalk paint. I just kind of made it look like that. Just kind of dry brushed it on there. And now, let's see. I took one of my shamrocks and used the handle, the tip of my handle. I dipped it in the white paint and just kind of dabbed it on there. They're not perfect dots, but they've got little dots on it. So that's dried. I picked up a package of these little washers and I painted one with a little bit of the Waverly chalk paint, brown, not the Waverly, the home decor. And I just kind of dabbed it on there with the paintbrush and did some silver as well. So that way, instead of having it all nice and shiny like this, it kind of goes with the truck better. And that, when I'm all finished, will go right there. So now I need to finish this up. And I'm at a good point where I could do this on camera. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is put the words. So these are the skinny font letters that I got off my website. This is the Magnolia Design Company stencil. And these came from, it has the entire alphabet. It's got this size and it's got a size that's a little bit bigger. But this is the right size for my tag. So I'm using these for the word loads, and I'm going to use them for the word luck. And for the word of, I'm going to use this right here off of this stencil. So I'm going to place these letters, stencil them on, and I'm going to do it in the coal black. So I need a squeegee. Be right back. Okay, I have figured out where I want my letters to go. And they're going to go right here. I'm doing this right side up for me so that I can get it on there right. they're going to go, loads is going to go here. The word luck is going to go here. And then I'm going to put the of right here. And then the truck is going to be right here. And then the shamrocks are going to be coming out of the truck. So first I want to do the letters. Now these letters are pretty old. I've used them quite a bit, so I'm not too worried about fuzzing them because they're sticky, but they're not crazy sticky like they are when you first buy them. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it right about here. There are no air bubbles. I need to stir my chalk paste. It's kind of thick. I've used it and left it out in the open while I was using it. So it kind of starts to thicken once you do that quite a bit. So I've got a bottle in which I hold distilled water. You just sprayed a little water in there. Now I'm stirring it up. I'm going to keep doing that until it is the consistency of about cake batter or yogurt. And since my time on my videos are limited, I'm going to pause you while I get this ready. Be right back. All right, so the paste is right about where I want it to be. I'm getting chunks of the dry stuff on my board here. So there we go. So the S is on, and it's as easy as taking a little bit of the paste and swiping it across, holding your squeegee at an angle, not straight up and down, covering all of the white spot. And then we're going to hold the squeegee straight up and down to scrape off the excess. Take this off. So there's one letter. I'm setting my stencil in a little tub of water so that I can wash it when I'm done doing this video. Now I'm going to do the, before I do the D, I need to dry my S. This is going to be a little loud. Now, normally I would have waxed this if I was doing like a big picture, but since I'm just doing the letters, I think it'll be just fine without having to wax it. I've written on here already the back on the back side, so I know that this is the one for D. Now I'm going to place the D. Make sure there are no air bubbles. Most of the time when I do this, I just eyeball it. There are people that have ways of measuring and marking, but I just tend to eyeball it. Quite honestly, I don't feel like it has to be absolutely perfect anyway. So I like it when sometimes they come out a little bit wonky. Okay, there's the D. And the A. I need to move these out of the way so I couldn't blow them away. I've got a lot of stuff I've been working with over here for this project, and so my table is cluttered. So now I'm going to do my A. Place it right about there. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm doing the A now. Scraping out the excess. Dry it. Now we're doing the O. So I had to do this in steps because it took me a little time to, number one, decide exactly how I wanted to do it. And number two, to paint the truck and let it dry. I have a little pieces there. And then paint the clovers on the truck and let it dry. Okay, there's a couple little spots here that I don't like on the O. I don't know if you can see it. There's tiny little spots that are missing. So I picked up my fine tip squeegee. Get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to dip it in here just a tiny bit, and then, well, first I'm going to dry this. That way I don't do anything to mess the rest of it up. So dip it in there just a tiny bit, and dab it on there. Dip and dab. Dip and dab. There we go. And now the little white spots are gone. Now I'm going to do the L. Now the L I will be using twice, so I will have to wash the L and dry it. And I can do that. I can dry it with my tacky towel. If you don't have a tacky towel, you can just use a regular towel. But when you dry, you've got to make sure you get it really good and dry before you use it again, because if you don't, if there's any water in that screening, it will thin out the chalk as you're using it, and chalk will bleed. And we don't want that. So I'm going to use that again, but it'll be the last one I do. So doing the L now, scraping off the excess and putting it back in the container. There we have loads. The word loads. Okay, I'm gonna go wash this really quick. I'll be right back. All right, so I washed my L. I'm going to dry my L on my tacky towel. Now this side is normally the side for fuzzing, and the other side is normally the side for drying, but I don't want that much more fuzz on my L, so it's not really drying it very well. Turn it over. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to leave this laying out sticky side up so it can keep drying while I'm working on the rest of the words. And I'm going to pause this because I only have 35 minutes before it cuts me off. So I'm going to pause this for just a minute. Okay, so now I've got my Scatter Seeds of Kindness. And I'm going to remove it from the backing. It's already been written on because it's one of my older stencils. I'm going to fuzz it because it's still pretty sticky. And I don't want it to pull anything up off of the tag that I've been working on. I did not wax because I'm not doing a very big picture. So I want to make sure I don't undo. So I'm just going to put it like right about here. I want to angle it a little bit. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. So there. And all I want is the of. So I'm using my little bitty squeegee that came in this packet that you can order. These are fantastic for doing small jobs. Oh my goodness, I got black on mine. I have to paint over that. It comes in a package with all of these. And I just used the fine tip to fix my O. And now I'm going to use this one to do the of. This is such a small area. It's got other stuff around it, so I want to make sure I don't get anything else except the O and the F. Now I'm scraping off the excess. Just like that. Peel it off. And there's your of. And I'm going to go wash this really quick. Be right back. Alright, so far I have loads of. Now I'm going to do the word luck. I'm going to put it right about, this one's going to be a little bit easier to line up because it just happens to be falling on one of the lines. So I'm going to put it right about here. Okay, I'm going to pause you while I do the rest of this word so I have time to work on the shamrocks with you as well. Hold on, be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the word. So now we have loads of luck on here. The next step is going to be to paint the shamrocks. So I need to put away the black and get the white, so I'll be right back. Okay, so now if you remember, we have one clover on here already that's got the little buffalo check or the gingham or whatever you want to call it. And then we have this one that I put the white polka dots on, and I got a little bit of black chalk paste on it. So I want to fix that. Now this one is painted with the moss. The moss and the celery are what I used for the truck and the clover. This part and this clover and the darker squares are painted with the Waverly Moss chalk paint, and then the lighter green are painted with the celery chalk paint. And I painted this one with the moss, so I'm just going to take a little bit of that moss and cover up that little spot that I don't want on there. I accidentally got black chalk paint on it, chalk paste. I didn't want that there, so I just covered it up. It's a little dry. So there's one polka dotted shamrock. I like the different patterns, and I was thinking about using these egg patterns from the Easter. This is the Happy Easter 12 by 18 stencil on the website with all these different patterns, and I want to use some of these. So This is a brand new stencil, so I'm definitely going to have to fuzz them very well before I use them. Open this baby up. All right. Something about the smell of a new stencil. I love it. Kind of like the smell of a new car. So I'm going to cut off. So these are just plain. So if you wanted to do a solid color on something, you could use that. I don't want a solid color. I think I want this one, that one, that one. Let's see. I'm just going to cut them all. So in order to save time with my video, I'm going to pause you really quick while I cut these out. All right, so I've cut the eggs out and I've numbered them, as you can see on the corner there. I've given them a number in the front, and then I've turned it over and I've written the number on the back. That way, when I separate them, I'll know which ones to put them back onto when it's done. So I'm looking at these, and I think I'm going to leave this one plain. And I've got this one with the little imperfect polka dots. So that's 2 of them. The one that's going to go on the truck itself, I'm going to leave plain. And then I've got, I don't want this and I don't want that. So I'm going to put those aside. I'll put them back inside the Easter wrapper. Doesn't take 20 minutes to open it. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to put the rest of this Easter one back in here, because I won't need it for a couple days. I'm going to start Easter really quick. As soon as I finish this truck project, I'll be done with St. Patrick's Day for the year, and I'm going to switch over to Easter. I do believe it comes early this year, the first weekend of April. So I want to stay on top of it. So now I'm going to, let's see, I think I want to put this one on here. They don't quite fit, so I'm going to have to figure out the best way to do this. So like for this one, I'm using our Brilliant White chalk paste. So now I need to stir it up. 23 minutes. Okay. I'm going to pause you really quick. I really didn't want to do this in 2 parts, but I might have to. Okay, so I'm going to do the stripes on here. This is a brand new stencil, so I'm definitely going to have to fuzz it. Now, if you don't have a tacky towel, you can just put this on your shirt, or on your pants or skirt or whatever you're wearing. But you want to fuzz it so that it is not crazy sticky when you put it on your project. Now if you were using a shirt or some kind of fabric, this really wouldn't be necessary, but for this it is. I'm going to put this on my shamrock over here. It doesn't quite make it, it's not quite big enough. Here. I don't want to do the stem, so I have to be careful. I'm going to put it on about 1/2 of it and do it, and then do it on the other half. So, squeegee a little. Wiping off the excess. And do the other side. Dry it first. then it doesn't have to be perfect, honestly. I kind of lined up the green area with the green so that the stripes kind of carry on to the other side. They're not going to be a perfect match, which is fine. And take it off, and voila. There it is. Put this in the water. Dry this. And that's one. Okay. So there's one. There's a polka dot. We're going to do a plain. They all don't have to have patterns. They can be some plain, some no patterns. I think I like this for this one. So, peel it off the backing again. Fuzz it. First I'll put it this way. I'm avoiding the stem. I want to leave the stem plain green. I resolved myself to the idea that I have to do this in two parts because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. Oh, I like it. I might even just leave one half like, no, I'll do the whole thing. Okay, let me dry it. This is my favorite one so far. It kind of looks like a tire tread. Okay. And then put it on this side. I'm just kind of placing it. I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing besides getting it all over the place. I'm placing it so that the border is over the part that I've already chalked. And then that way I don't chalk over that area again by mistake. So I'm scraping off the excess now. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so there's that one. Put this in the water. I'm going to wash my stencils really quick. I hate soaking them in water. I'll be right back. Okay, I feel better now. They've had a minute to dry, so those are good to set aside. My other stencils are clean. To clean them, basically you put them under lukewarm, coolish water and wash them off with the sponge. This is our board cleaner, stencil cleaner. Wash it on the non-sticky side first, turn it over, wash it on the sticky side, and then lay it out to dry, sticky side up on a towel or a rack. You know, then you have those little racks that you can put your dishes on. Not dishes, your cookies on to cool, like a cooling rack. All right, so I have these three patterns. I have a couple plain, and I think I want to do this on one of the little ones. This will be easy with the little ones because it covers the whole thing. I don't want to do the stem. So I'm just going to cover it with my thumb and work around it. So there's that. And then I'm going to do this one, but I need to wash this really quick. Be right back. All right, I'm going to dry this a little bit. And then I think I'll do this one and that, and then I'll be done. I'm going to leave that one plain. Now, one of the things you have not seen in this process is how these are prepared before you stencil on them. Normally, I would paint them and then wax them. You know, I did not wax these today because they're so tiny and there's such little amount of stenciling being done that I figured it would be okay. And so far, it's been just fine. I want to get that out of there. There we go. Okay, so far it's been just fine. But normally if you don't prepare it, it'll either pull up the paint or the wax will bleed, or not the wax, the chalk paste will bleed, or it'll come up with your stencil. So there's processes that need to be done to get your pieces ready. And I do have other videos posted. If you just Google Twisted Chalker, and you'll be able to see some of the videos where I go through from the very beginning to the very end on how to do projects. But this one has been a long and drawn out one for me, longer than I normally do, simply because of things that occurred over a couple of days, and it needed extra time for drying and for me to figure out what I want. So I needed extra time to figure out what I wanted. So I just did a little bit at a time. I started it Monday by gluing the craft paper to the front of the tag, and then letting it dry all day while I was at work. It's either Monday or Tuesday. And then afterward, I put Mod Podge over the top of the craft paper to seal it down better. And then I had to let it dry again. So that was the longest drying process for this whole project so far. Oh, I like that. Look at that. That is so cute. So cute. I need to get that little bit out of the edge, but I need to wash this first. Be right back. Okay, so I'm going to dry this. Oh, no, first I want to get this edge cleaned up. There we go. Now I'm going to dry it. All right, these are ready. So after letting the top of the craft paper dry on the what used to be the front of the tag, which is now the back of the tag, when I turned it over, I had to decide whether I wanted to paint it or not. And so instead of just waiting, I started working on the truck, on the actual truck. All right, got the truck done and then decided to paint this. I painted that. One coat. I didn't want to just completely cover it. I wanted some of the stuff to show through. And then, okay, at this point, I'm going to glue the truck on. So I need some, and I didn't plug in my glue gun. All right, I'm gonna let the glue gun warm up and I'll be right back. Okay, so oops, wait a minute, be right back. Okay, back for real this time. While I was waiting for my glue gun to warm up, I put a bunch of stuff away. I washed my squeegees, I washed my stir sticks because they are all reusable, and my paint brushes as well. And I am going to glue this on now. I'm going to use some E6000 for a more permanent stick, and I'm going to use the glue gun, the hot glue, to hold it on there, help hold it on there while I am while the E6000 is drying. I'm going to put it right about here, and then the clovers are going to go over here. Now, what I want to do before I glue the gun down, I picked a pattern how I want these to be on there. So I'm going to put these first. I'll put these here. Let's see. I wanted this one over here, and I wanted this one up here, like that. So I need to glue those down really quick. So I'm going to use a little bit of this, B6000, a little bit of hot glue. Okay, it's very hot. Put this one right about here. And then take a little bit of this. Nope, 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 nope. It just keeps coming out. Okay, a little bit of hot glue. I want this one to go right about there. Then yeah, that's about right. Truck will go here, and then one of these smaller ones will go right about there. So I'm going to put some glue. Oh, you know what? I think it'll be okay if I just hot glue it, because the truck's going to be over it. So I want this to be right about here. So I only put it on the two ends because this part here isn't even touching the board. And then this other bigger one, go right about here. We'll just tuck it underneath there. And so this part and this part and that part are touching. So that's where I'm going to put the glue. Oops. Oh, I'm so excited to be getting this done. Okay. So those parts are glued down. And then I'm going to put this little guy right here. And he only needs a little bit of glue right there and a little bit of glue right there, because that's the part that's touching. And then the one that's missing the stem, I wanted to put right here. There we go. Okay, the plain one. Right here. Use a little bit of blue right there. And then this one. Will go here. Okay. So now it's time for the try. Put a bunch of E6000 because I really want it to stick. So putting it places I think will be really touching the board. And then a little super glue, hot glue to hold it on while we're waiting for E6000 to dry. Right there. So now I'm just going to hold it here for a minute to make sure it's going to stay. And then I'll take this little piece right here, put a little E6000 on it. As well as a little hot glue. Place it over the hole. String of glue right there. Let's pull that out. And then the last finishing touch. This is the rope that originally came on it. So I put the rope through. It's pretty long, and I don't want it this long. So I'm going to tie it down a little shorter. That's good enough. Right there. That's about the right size. Okay. I'm hoping it's on here well enough that it won't fall off when I hold it up, but I definitely have to hold it up to show you, right? Okay, so let's change the angle of the camera. Hi, everybody. Okay. Please stay on here. I hope the hot glue has that. I'm so happy with it. And there it is. Loads of luck. And it can be set. Oh, my water. On a counter. Leaned up against the wall for decoration. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm loving it. Okay, I'm sorry I had to do this in 2 parts, but that's what my camera does to me. And I think I need to stop making things and spend some time to learn more technology. So anyway, so I hope you hung in for the 2 parts, and I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, if you have any questions about those steps, I will be happy to explain them to you even better. But I'm pretty happy with it. I'm very, very happy with it. It was worth the time. Definitely worth it. Okay, well again, thank you. Thank you for watching, and I will put the link to my Facebook page on here. Not my, well, if you're watching on YouTube, the link to my Facebook page will be on here, so you can look at the pictures that I posted before finishing this project of the little steps that I've taken. And yeah, that's it. All right, bye-bye.